Chanel versus Celine. Which one would you choose? Hello everyone, welcome back to another mommy review where I review all things for the love of. Today I'm checking out Chanel versus Celine, which is better? Now before I get started, if you like the content on this channel, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for considering. And for those of you who are returning back, welcome back to this handbag lover's journey. So let's get started. Now Celine and Chanel are like two of the top French fashion houses, and I want to focus specifically on their beautiful handbags. I know that Chanel handbags are undoubtedly highly coveted in the luxury world, but I think that Celine is not so shabby either. Both brands are just like industry giants within the luxury fashion world, and I can totally see why. So today I want to spend a little bit of time going over the history of the two brands, comparing the pricing, the target audience, the style, the material, the resale value, its exclusivity, and finally come to the final conclusion. Celine versus Chanel. Which is better? In fact, which is better for you? So let's get started. Starting with history. Now, Celine was founded originally in 1945. It started off as a children's shoe business where they made like made-to-measure shoes, and it wasn't until 1960s that it repositioned itself to be like a ready-to-wear women wear clothing and just made its mark in the luxury fashion world. And then it was in 1997 that it was kind of taken over by LVMH, like the ultimate luxury company, right? So that's the history for Celine. Now for Chanel, I think of course Chanel wins by a long shot given it has a much longer heritage. It was founded in 1910 and the brand has focused on like women's high fashion, ready to wear clothes and accessories. And everybody knows about Coco Chanel being the fashion designer who cater to women's desire for like elegant dresses. So there is definitely a much richer history for Chanel being like a top fashion house, given its long history in creating like, you know, the classic little black dress, diamond quilted shoulder bags and such, and of course like matching tweed jackets. I think that history-wise Chanel does win by a long shot, but both brands are really popular all over the world. So next I want to talk about pricing range. Celine bags on average around $1,000 to $7,000, really depending on the design, the exotic leathers that you may be reaching for. It can go as much as $24,000. Whereas for Chanel, it's hard to pinpoint for pricing because they have undergone a number of price increases over the years and on a regular basis as well. I think on average for a Chanel bag costs around $4,000 to around $12,000. Although like similar to Celine, depending on the exotic skins or like the make of the bag, these price points can change quite a bit. Target audience. Now Celine in general goes for a younger audience, a younger generation compared to Chanel, but I think that Chanel is very popular with its timeless appeal and the longevity of its brand itself. It does cater to a little bit more of a mature audience. Style. Alright, so for styling, I do find the Celine is a little bit more elegant, more minimalistic, just a very overall graceful silhouette. When it comes to style, I think Celine is a little bit more trendy classic with like, it's still luxurious, but a more minimalistic piece. Like if you look at a Celine handbag, you have like this Parisian style vibe that the bag is very functional, versatile, and just will always be on trend. I think for the Celine handbags, they're more focused on a younger generation, as I mentioned, for target audience. So you're gonna find that the handbags are a little bit more creative. They still have a timeless touch to them though, but they're a little bit more minimalistic and you don't see like big branded logoing for Celine. For Chanel, I think even if you don't know handbags, you would know a Chanel handbag. I don't know if I'm overstating something here, but I think like Chanel just is known for Chanel. It is not minimalistic. It is pretty logo heavy with the double C's. It is a very distinctive look that is a classic like status symbol, and most of the leather bags are quilted or patterned, and you know about like the tweed that they incorporate in a lot of their clothes and also in their handbags as well. A lot of the Chanel handbags are not minimalistic. They're decorated with the large Chanel logo brand name all over it. So it is instantly recognizable and everybody knows the look of a Chanel. It is glamorous, luxurious, and just not the same, I would say, for Celine, given Celine's a little bit more trendy, cool, classic, but not in your face, more minimalistic. Definitely not a Chanel. In terms of material and craftsmanship, so most Celine handbags are crafted from calfskin leather, but they do have like a range of different finishes. I find that the Celine handbags are quite durable and they don't tend to scuff up as much, and I have to baby my, let's say, Chanel handbags a little bit more. So I find that Celine handbags are definitely more versatile and more durable. Most of the handbags for Celine are exclusively produced in Italy, and they're made by highly trained artisans, so that each handbag is up to like the same high quality standard. For Chanel, I think most often the handbags are known for leather, like calfskin, lambskin, and of course like their caviar leather. I don't think that these leathers are as durable as what I've seen for Celine, and you do require a little bit more of ongoing care and attention for Chanel handbags for the materials that they use. Resale value. Celine bags are definitely not necessarily something you use or think of as an investment handbag. In fact, in the resale market, I don't think there are that many out there, and the prices definitely don't retain the same price as the boutique that you would see. While I do think that the handbags are just incredibly beautiful for Celine, it just doesn't have the same mass market as Chanel. Like for Chanel handbags with the prominent logo and the monogram that you see, there are actually quite a few in the pre-loved market, and the brand pricing for the Chanel handbags, with it going up every single year, you are more likely to have a handbag for Chanel that will retain its value, or if not, fetch a higher price in the pre-loved market than when you purchased it in the boutique. Because of the rich history for Chanel, it has like this instant prestige and luxury idea that a lot of people associate with it. That kind of adds to the branding and the resale value for the item, that anything that has Chanel on it compared to Celine. Exclusivity. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about that because this comes into the price range a little bit. Chanel has made a name itself for making like beautiful quilted handbags. Some of the handbags for Chanel that are most popular includes the classic flap. Chanel does produce a limited number of these bags, and they also limit the number of handbags that people can buy per year, and as a result, this really brings up like the exclusivity of Chanel and brings up the price for the handbags. For Chanel, you may have to join a waiting list to get a hold of your dream handbag, but definitely not the case with Celine. You can usually get a hold of the bag that you want without having the long wait that you get with Chanel. So what is my final verdict? Well, this one is a hard one because I love both handbag brands equally. Both handbag brands are world renowned. It's a really tough choice. I think for these top brands with these gorgeous handbags, it really comes to a few important differences that will hopefully I'll point out now, and you'll help you decide which brand is for you. Number one is of course the price range of the handbags. Celine and Chanel are a little bit similar, but I would say Chanel is a little bit more expensive, and that's related to the exclusivity to it as well. So if you're looking to resell this handbag later down the road, I think Chanel takes the win there. But if you're less concerned about the resale value, but you love the classic, sophisticated, timeless handbag look, I think Celine is the brand for you. Celine does have some beautiful, iconic handbags that I think is just so underrated. Just great, understated, minimalistic, chic look. So definitely Celine is a little bit more budget friendly and more minimalistic. In fact, I think Celine has a lot of handbags that has like a fresh take on some classics, just kind of reinventing classic staples for handbags. But if you're looking for investment value, a statement piece that is striking or glamorous look, Chanel is your iconic handbag that you're dreaming of. Regardless, both Celine and Chanel have some really gorgeous handbags. I don't think you can go wrong with either of these brands. So that's it for my comparison of Celine versus Chanel. Now I would love to hear from you. Which is the brand that you love more? Are you a Celine fan or a Chanel fan? And also, if so, which handbag do you love the most from each of these brands? Please comment below. I would love to start a conversation about it. Both of these luxury brands are just so stunning. I do have a difficult time choosing between the two. I think they're suited for very different occasion and very different style. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and I'll see you next time in another mommy review. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.